ahead and get started. I'm going to pull in a piece of very vanilla cardstock. I've already scored it, so we'll just fold it and burnish it to help it lay a little flatter. I do need a piece of, what's it called? Grid paper. Oh, that one's not open. Let's see. Piece of grid paper to keep my surface clean, but I can't seem to find my open grid paper, so I guess, hey, we'll have to open this. Now, this is the grid paper that is actually sold to go with the Stamp-a-ratus. However, I love it for these videos because it doesn't cover up all my nice faux wood, but it does give me a way of protecting the surface. So we'll pull that in right here. I'm going to start with the Mary Merlot and the largest flower in that artistically inked set. Oh, I see Anne made it back. I'm just going to ink up this set. Remember, this artistically inked set is a distinctive set, which means that it's going to give a variation of colors in it. It's photo, they call it photo quality, and I'll show you a little bit later why that is, because this next stamp set that I'm going to use, it honestly really looks like a photo when I stamp with it, when I stamp the flower with it. It's so beautiful. So I have that one stamped. I'm going to bring in, I think, the Misty Moonlight next, and we'll use the rosette from that stamp set. We're going to stamp a few of those. Sheila, I'm not seeing a pause on my Facebook because I'm watching it right in front of me. I'm not seeing it pause. I did notice that it froze a little bit earlier, but it did not, and it showed it that it froze on my iPad. So it hasn't since then. So it might be your iPad again, I'm not sure. All right, let's just stamp these like that. And I don't know, you can play like I'm trying to recreate the card, but you know, loosely. Now I want to bring in my leaves. So I'm going to bring in my old olive. And in this set, there's a single leaf and then there's a double leaf. I'm going to take the double leaf right now. And we're going to stamp some. I'm going to get that right in there. And probably right up, I think right over here. There's some like little notches in the flower that make it perfect for adding the leaves right there. I think I can also maybe add one right up here. And I will get out the single leaf. Oh, I just saw my my iPad flash again. So maybe it is, maybe it's not just your connection, Sheila. Maybe it's something going on, who knows where. All right, where am I going to put this one? I don't know. Let's see. I think I want also there to be some leaves kind of coming off. So this is going to give the impression that it's just a portion of, you know, what's going on in the background. So there I have something like that. Very quick and easy. Now I need to wash my stamps, so I'm going to take my chamois out, which I haven't used on a Friday Night Live in a while because I always forget to wet it beforehand. And then, you know, 5 minutes before I'm thinking, oh, I don't have enough time to do that. So let's clean my stamps here. I haven't cleaned them all, but I've cleaned most of them. Now there's another little trio of flowers in here that I could stamp with. I think I will actually. I'll go ahead and bring in my Misty Moonlight again. So So these are just going to be smaller flowers. And maybe I will stamp off on that with those first. And so they're a little bit lighter. And I'll do that again, perhaps over here. I got distracted by these three little flowers. What I really wanted to show you was another stamp in that set. And that is these little 4 dots. I think these little 4 dots fill up space very nicely. It's on its way, Anne. I promise you, it's on its way. All right, so I'm just gonna fill up some space with these little dots. I like to turn my stamp a bit as I'm doing it so they look like a little bit of a different pattern. All right, and you'll notice that I'm kind of avoiding this bottom part, and that's because I'm going to do something with the bottom part. Largely, I'm going to get rid of it. So now I'm going to take, there's a smaller rosette in here. You can use it as a rosette, or you can use it as a center of this big splotch right here. And so I just put that in there. You know, you could have made that any color you want. So now that I've got that done, this is a very simple card that we're making. It really is a SIP card, stamps, ink, and paper. That's really all I'm using. So a technique that I don't often do anymore, but I used to do all the time, is tearing. So I'm going to tear the bottom part of this cardstock off, and I'm going to tear toward me in little chunks, keeping it somewhat straight, but not worrying. I mean, obviously it's not going to be totally straight. I can keep it like this, or I can, oh, I have ink on my fingers, surprising. I can keep it like this, or I can add a little layer underneath here. So that really makes that kind of pop. And that's what I'm going to do. I can see, because I'm stamping on my grid sheet, that this space right here is a little bit less than 1 inch. I'm going to bring in my cutter, and I think this is already 5.5 inches. It is. I will just measure 1 inch width then. And I can put this right down here. Now you have a choice right now. And that choice is, do I adhere the blue to the inside of the card, or do I adhere it to the front of the card? It really depends. It doesn't matter unless you know the recipient wants to display her card. If she wants to display her card and stand it up, it's a little bit harder when it's got that torn edge, and it's going to fall over like, you can't really see it because of the angle, but it's going to fall over and hide the blue anyway. So that's why sometimes I like to just go ahead and attach it to the top. Now, here's the trick on attaching it to the top. You want to line it up on the bottom, put your adhesive, and I don't think I have got a ton of room to play with up there, so I'm going to just take a little bit of this glue right along the top edge. Make sure my blue is lined up with the bottom edge, and close it. And so you can see that if you're going to make a mistake, you want to cut the blue wider than you think, and you don't want it to make it just a perfect fit, because then your glue will go everywhere. But my glue is fine here. I see nothing, so that's good. So our card is almost done. All we need now is a sentiment. I'm going to take a piece of scrap vanilla here, and in that artistically inked set we have Happy Birthday. Now I just need to decide what color am I going to stamp Happy Birthday in. I think I'm going to do the Misty Moonlight because that's what color this bottom piece is. And you know what? I know automatically that I want a 3-inch strip. I want a 1/2 inch wide strip. Sorry. It's going to be about 3 inches long when it's done, I think, but I'm going to stamp this here first. Again, it's hard for me to get over it to see where I'm stamping because of the angle of the camera, and that didn't work, so I got an edge. So let's just do this again on the other side. Ugh, I'm inking horribly. I'm inking the edges. I don't want to do that. Let's see if I get this one right. Oh, it's a little crooked. I can't stand it. I got to do it again. It's just a 1/2 inch wide strip of cardstock. I can handle it. All right, let's do this again. I'm going to stand up so that I can try to make it a little straighter. All right, that's good. Yay. Now I can just add this right on here. And let's see, I'm just going to even it up with scissors. So this is about 3 1/4, 3 1/8. I can add that right there, but to me it gets a little bit lost. So I'm going to bring my cutter back in and take another scrap of my Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to cut that same length, 3 1/8-ish, and that same width, 1/2 inch, in Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to end up offsetting it just a little bit so that it runs over on the right and underneath. All I have to do is attach these pieces. So while I'm doing that, I should say, hey, if you enjoy my Friday Night Lives, I would love it if you'd go ahead and share, hit the share button when you join, or now if you can, so that other people can kind of hop on. It's a much nicer party when more people are on, and it's really cool when all my friends from all over are here. So I would appreciate it if you do that. So we can just put that on. And I'm actually not even going to pop it up. I could pop it up on dimensionals, but we're just trying to make this a simple card. So there's a very simple card. I can stamp on the inside. And I don't know what I'm going to stamp on the inside, but now I'm going to show you how we can take this up just a notch. I'm going to start with another piece of Very Vanilla. No, let me look at the time. You know, it's 7:50, so I've kept you on here about 20 minutes. So I'm going to actually bring in the finished product instead. I said I was going to use another set, so now I do actually have to stamp something. But this is with the same set, only I've used more early fall colors. So this is Cajun Craze and Pumpkin Pie and Old Olive. And you see this glittery stuff? Let me bring it closer to the camera. Okay, and if I bring it close enough, it's really hard to capture. There you go. If you look over here, there's a definite pattern of a bunch of little circles. This is the bedazzling paper that is free with a $50 purchase during Sale-a-bration. And I've just cut a couple of little spots out and put them in the center of those rosettes. But look at the sparkle and shine. It is so, so very cool. But enough of that. I want to show you another Stampin' Up! Sale-a-bration set that is fantastic. And it is also free, but this time it's with a $100 purchase. And that is the Delicate Dahlias set. Let me get these off the blocks. So with this Delicate Dahlias set, this is a two-step stamp set. So there's an outline and then there's a color to go over it. But this is also a distinctive set. And this distinctive set, when you stamp it, oh my goodness, I was so surprised. I wasn't going to get this set. And I was so surprised when I stamped it, what I got. So let me bring this out. And I need to get a clear big block. So these are photopolymers. The other ones were red rubber, obviously. You might see a little bit of dark, a black spot right here. That is me. I did that. So when you get it, it's because it's a two-step stamp, you have to line these up to make it look right or close to right. So it's really important. But when I wasn't paying attention when I took them out, and I had the hardest time lining them up. I tried stamping this first and lining this up over it, and then vice versa. And that was really, really hard. And I thought, I'm not going to want to do that every single time. So what I did was I took the stamp and I put it back in. Now this is, remember, this is the case. This is how the cases come. And I put it back in and lined it up the way it lines up in the case. And then what I did was I put on this little petal right here on the inside, I put a little Sharpie mark. Over here, it lines up the same way, this point right here. So I put another Sharpie mark over there. So I know that I want to end up those things, when I stamp them, I want them in the same location. I don't have to stamp them so the Sharpie is down. I just have to remember where I stamped them. Let me show you what I mean. I am going to stamp it when it's down though, because I'm not crazy. Well, most of the time. So let me ink this up really good. And I've got my little black mark so I can see it. So let's go ahead and I'm going to put that roughly south, what I call south, pointing down. Now, let me bring this closer so you can see. And it, again, the camera's not really showing you, but it really looks 3D. Like there's so much dimension going on. It's beautiful. All right. I'm not actually going to stamp this piece over it. This set, you can use this by itself, colored in, looks great. You can use this by itself, looks great. You can use them together, looks great. You have so many options with this set. It's really fantastic. So then I can add some leaves, and I know I stamped this stuff beforehand. And I don't know where my leaf, because I took the liberty of actually cutting one of those puppies out, because it takes a little bit of while to cut them out. And now I can't find it. And honestly, my surface is pretty clean. I don't know. It's gone somewhere. But anyway, I wanted to show you how that's stamped up. The leaves are also two-step. I am so sorry that this keeps cutting out. I do not know what's going on. It's got to be something going on in Wells, where I live, or Southern Maine, where Sheila lives too. I don't know. Let me show you, because I don't have that other piece, I'm going to not show you that card, but let me show you. Show you what I made. I recently posted this on a Maine Demonstrator's website. This was a gatefold card that I made, and you can see on this one, let me bring it a little closer. I did actually, ooh, look at how inky my fingers. I did use the outline and the fill. So I used it as a true two-step Stampin' Thing set. And then these are little flowers that come in that set as well. You can see them right here. Here's some bedazzling paper, and this is a gatefold card. So you open it up and you get that. when you close it, you gotta close it right. But that bedazzling paper is really something. This bedazzling paper would make great wedding cards. Great, great, great wedding cards. Or for if you just have a girlfriend that really likes the bling, perfect for her.